For my project and the story I'm telling, I decided to choose to interview three people who speak Spanish. One who is Father Robert, who grew up learning English as his primary language, and then later on in his life learned to speak Spanish. Next is Carlos, who works as a janitor in my building. He grew up learning Spanish as his primary language, and then later on in his life, he learned to speak English. And the third is Christina. She lives in my building, and she grew up with both learning Spanish and English as her primary languages. And yeah.
Start with your name and who you
My
are.
name is Father Robert Rodriguez. I'm a priest of the Archdiocese of New York, currently stationed at St. Joseph's in Spring Valley.
All right. What languages do you speak?
I could speak English is my first language, Spanish, although I'm not fluent yet, but getting there. A little bit of Italian, not that much. I have a reading knowledge of Greek and Latin, and that's pretty much about it.
Which language did you learn first?
English.
You grew up learning that language?
Yes, my mom is Italian and Greek, and my dad is Puerto Rican.
Okay.
But like in the house though, we spoke English.
What was your experience learning Spanish?
It was a fun experience. I started learning in high school. Like I just picked up growing up. I would hear my dad talking Spanish, and I was just like maybe understood like about maybe a couple words at most from him. Then when I went to high school, I started learning it more. And then I took a couple of classes in college, and I went to Costa Rica for a month to learn there because the seminary sent me there to learn. And now, by being here, I'm still learning basically. I'm still learning here, serving the people of God in Spring Valley.
Why did you feel the need to learn a second language?
For me, I love languages, the study of languages. So just out of that love for my study of languages, I decided to take up a second language. And also too, because as a priest, one of the things that's very important right now is the Hispanic ministry.
Yeah.
And obviously we have to, be, the best we can in Spanish. So out of my love for languages and out of the need for the people of God, I decided to learn Spanish.
What do you think is the importance of learning a second language?
Communication skills, because actually more than communication skills, just just a matter of saying hi and bye. The importance of learning a second language, I would argue that it keeps the mind active. It keeps the mind active, and also too, it gives you a greater exposure to other people, not only other cultures but other people as well. Like opens more of a window of opportunity to you. If you want to go to places like let's say if you want to learn Chinese, you can go to China, or things of that nature.
Do you think your Spanish could improve more?
Yes, it could always improve. I think in my part, which I'm a bit lazy, I'll confess that, is I have to probably reading more, and just paying attention. Either like watching Spanish TV or reading the Spanish newspaper, or just listening to the radio in Spanish. Because there's always opportunities to learn second languages, even if it's by means of those simple things which are taken for granted every day. There's still opportunities to learn.
All right. Please start with your name and who you are.
Hi, my name is Carlos Arremache. I come from Ecuador. I'm 49 years old. I work in Manhattan College, and I've been living in New York at least for since 1985. And I am a father of 4 kids. And I have my daughter graduated from Manhattan College last year. I have my daughter freshman here at Manhattan College. I have a daughter of 8 years old. 8 years old, and I have a son that's 12. And I'm married to someone that was born here, but her parents are from Ecuador.
All right.
And we've been married for almost 24 years old.
All right. What languages do you speak?
I speak Spanish and yeah, I speak Spanish. Uh, that's I came here when I'm American and when I came here, for me it was hard to learn English, and I still don't speak that clear, but I have learned on how to talk it. But I think Spanish is a language where it's very important in in the United States because of the population, Spanish population, and for the culture. I think Spanish is a language of a symbol of love. There's many ways to express your feelings, and I think it's a great language.
Why did you feel the need to learn English?
Well, I think we are in America, and I think like we are in a different country. I think we got to learn the culture and the language so we can communicate and try to educate our kids and to move up forward with this culture, with American culture, in which we are very grateful to live in America, and like we are so grateful. So I think, with respect, we should learn their language.
All right. In your opinion, what do you think is the importance of knowing a second language?
Well, it helps mentally, it helps to grow, it helps to understand and to communicate because, and I think globally, I think you being a bilingual is very important for jobs, important for very important for jobs, and to communicate with other people and help other people that they don't understand their language. Sometimes to help them translate, and it's very important to have to know two language, three language. I think America is the only country that basically try just to learn not just the English language, because if you go to Europe, they know two, three, four languages, and I think it's very good and healthy for their knowledge and understanding other culture.
All right. Thank you. That will be all. Thank you.
Okay.
Please tell us your name and who you are.
My name is Christina Oiwa, and I'm a student here at Manhattan College.
All right, what languages do you speak?
I speak English and Spanish, but I'm not that good at Spanish, so I'm trying to relearn it.
What order did you learn them in, and what was your experience in doing so?
My parents taught me Spanish when I was a baby, but as I grew up, my friends and TV, they were all in English, so I picked up English more than Spanish, so I kind of forgot about Spanish.
Why do you feel the need to relearn Spanish?
Because I realized how important Spanish was. I guess when I was younger, I just never really understood the importance. But now that I work in where I work, the employees and customers are mainly Spanish, so it's easier to talk to them. Also, it's easier to talk to my parents because they both speak Spanish, and there's always like that language barrier that kind of prevents us from making funny jokes or really just communicating in general. And it also helps me connect to my culture and my extended family because they always, well, let's see, they're not that mean about it, but they really like when you know Spanish. Like when you speak Spanish, like you already understand it.
Right. In your opinion, what do you think is the importance of knowing a second language?
It helps you connect with people of different cultures. It's just, you break the language barrier and then you're able to enter their world and understand them. Like, now that I'm learning more Spanish, I can understand my parents' stories more, like the feelings that they felt as they grew up and all their past experiences. I can actually connect to them on a deeper level than when it is, well, what it was before. Like, if we're struggling, he's struggling, when my father, sorry, when my father tries to tell his past experiences, it's very hard because he's trying to find the words in English and I'm trying to understand the words he's trying to say in Spanish. And it's always confusing for both of us. So I'm trying to learn Spanish just for them, just to learn a little bit more. So I think it's important because you get to connect with people and understand them on a deeper level. And
All right. Thank you, Christina, for your time. That'll be all. as you can see with the three people I've interviewed, Father Robert, Carlos, Christina, all of them learned at least a second language throughout their life, and each of them for different reasons. Father Robert did so he can communicate with an entirely different community. If he didn't learn Spanish, he would have never been able to communicate with them. Carlos, he learned English here because he felt that you should know the language of the place that you're living in. And Christina did so because she grew up with Spanish and English growing up. She was kind of forced to, but now she's relearning it so she can reconnect with her extended family. And in my opinion, I think it's important to at least know two languages because it opens up, it allows you to speak to so many other people that you normally wouldn't be able to. And as Carlos said too, it's good for jobs if you put that you know more than one language. So yeah.